Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris, the Candyman, and you already know what time it is. Tonight, we're drafting best ball teams. And I've got the best picks for you in round one. I've done the research, been putting together the Twitter threads, been putting together the podcast episodes, and I'm going to let y'all in and tell you the difference between picking Bijan or Gibbs at the 101. I've got notes on who's the wide receiver one alpha play this year. Is it Jamar Chase? Is it Puka Nacua? Is it JSN? I've gone deep into the differences between picking JT or Christian McCaffrey. And that's actually going to be the next podcast episode that comes out this weekend on my new podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's called Edge Detection. Links in description, all over my Twitter, all over my YouTube. We just jumped into a Best Ball Mania 7 draft. Let's get right into it. I'm drafting out of the 12 spot. Feeling good. Wednesday night. Whew. So I'm going to let y'all in on the details. Who are the best picks in the first round? What's the difference? I got it all. And the next episode that I'm queuing up after the JT versus CMC one comes out this weekend, for next week is actually, I'll give you a little preview. It's actually going to be the difference between who's the better pick, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Justin Jefferson. So we're going to get into all of that and more tonight. But if you're new here, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you're subscribed. I've got a goal to hit 1,000 channel subs by the start of the NFL season, and we're pretty damn close. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, support the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Get in the chat. Come say what up. Come draft with us. We're drafting weekly, almost every day, all summer long. Top best ball summer. It's pretty hot out there today. Just got back from the gym. I'm literally still sweating. And I'm drafting out of the 12th spot for this Best Ball Mania. So pretty psyched to draft from this side of the board, make some picks, have some time to talk with y'all, chat it up. Hope you guys are doing good. Say what up to the chat. Hey, what up, Hartman? Yo, what up on the ZA? What's up, Tyler? How we doing, brother? Paulino, my guy. How we doing, fellas? Are we on the HN train or what? I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I'm saving that. That's another episode I have coming out in my podcast queue that I'm lining up. Edge Detection. It's a new podcast I've started. I've released 2 episodes. I have a 3rd episode coming out. I might, it's almost ready. I've been letting episodes out every Sunday. I might let it out early and do 2 episodes this week because I've got 2 in the hopper. I've got the JT versus Christian McCaffrey episode that's pretty much done. And then my next episode that I'm working on now, that I'm working on the scripts and the data and all that good stuff. It's a Amon-Ra St. Brown versus CeeDee Lamb versus Justin Jefferson. But for on the ZA, are we on the HN train? Sadly, not this year. Not in 2026 for fantasy football. I love HN. Big fan of him coming out of A&M. I knew he was a workhorse when he was coming into the league. Wasn't worried about the weight. I knew he was fast. I knew he could handle the rock. He's getting 30 touches at A&M. He's been a stud. The Dolphins are going to suck this year. They have one of the worst ranked offenses. They have one of the worst ranked defenses, if not the worst ranked defense. So there's a lot of headwinds, not a lot of tailwinds. HN should be the dominant player in that offense. Is good. What's the touchdown upside ceiling case? That's what I'm worried about. I'm going to take Genty here. And like I said, I'm not going to go HN. I'm going either Derrick Henry or Chase Brown are my favorite picks. Definitely Genty. I like the touch volume there. And then it's really tough for me. I'm not super interested in the Eagles. I think with their new OC, there's some props. Sean Mannion, there's going to be some issues, some growing pains with the Eagles. They could go through a rough stretch here. Obviously, a good team, good defense, good O-line, all the above. But let's go Chase Brown. Ashton Genty, Chase Brown. I'm a believer. Chase Brown was electric down this stretch. I mean, just handling a huge workload, getting it done. So I don't mind taking him there. Yeah, what's up, Charles? What's up? What's up, Nick? How we going, brother? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Hell yeah. Yeah, check out the new podcast, Edge Detection. All the links in the description. Just started it up, just getting it going. The pods episodes are about 5, 6, 7 minutes long each. They're quick, punchy, give you all the data you need. I'm making my way through the first and second round over the next couple of weeks, over the next month. And then I've got some guests I'm lining up, some of the best data analysts in the fantasy football space. And when I bring them on, I'm going to hopefully get 30 minutes to an hour, aim for 45 minutes. And we're going to get some really, really good takes from some of the best in the biz. So be on the lookout for that too. And a lot of this content is evergreen for the entire fantasy season, but those episodes in particular, I'm aiming to make those evergreen for like forever. So we're not going to just hammer down into like really, really 2026 centric topics. It's going to be broad topics like the impact of changing your offensive coordinator. What does history tell us? How can it go good? How can it go bad? What should we expect? Bull case, bear case, all those things that can be applicable season over season. So that's what I'm lining up right now. Really psyched to do that. Really excited about it. But make sure you're sub tier too. Trying to hit 1,000 subs. Okay. So I kind of buried the lead in this Best Ball Mania draft. I started off Genty and Chase Brown, but I want to tell you a little bit about Bijan Robinson. So if you follow me on Twitter, you saw this Twitter thread that I posted last week. Bijan's pretty much the RB1 in every other 2026 ranking, right? And he probably should be. But there's a risk in his profile that no one's pricing incorrectly. And I've got a bunch of things you need to know about Bijan under new two-time NFL head coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad for Bijan? Let's find out. So last year, Bijan was top 2 fantasy running back, right? Needless to say. He averaged 50 snaps a game, hit a 78% snap share, about 17 carries a game, 6 targets a game. Nice. And that came out to 371 PPR points. Atlanta fired Raheem Morris and brought in Stefanski plus offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. Here's what changes. There's a real bull case here because Stefanski's scheme has a major rushing upside. The rushing EPA per attempt in the peak Stefanski eras in Cleveland, like 2022, were positive. Atlanta's EPA per attempt last year, negative, bad. And it's about a 0.09 EPA per attempt gap. So it's a relatively big gap. So we've got the same Bijan, better blocking, better play design. His yards per carry could go up. But one of the big scheme changes no one's talking about is under center rushing. So per True Media data via CBS Sports in 2025, Atlanta ran about 30% of running back carries from under center. Cleveland under Stefanski ran about 61%, so double the rate. So under center, you get more downhill play action and historically better goal line rates. Bijan was already elite at the part of that schemes can't fix. Like, what was elite about Bijan? Well, per PFR, among 52 running backs with 100 plus carries in 2025, Bijan ranked 9th in yards after contact per rush with 3.2 and 10th in yards before contact per rush with 2.8. So he's already top 10 across the board. Stefanski's scheme could push him even higher. Now, the risk that no one's talking about, Stefanski has never given a healthy running back more than 50%, 56% of snaps. We look at peak Chuba Hubbard. Am I saying Chuba Hubbard? I meant Nick Chubb. Peak Nick Chubb. 2020, 50%. 2021, 53% of snaps. And 2022, 56% of snaps in a career year. Bijan's coming off a 78% snap share season. So there's some framing. I've got more stats to get into. Let's make these picks. We're on the clock. Started off Ashton Genty and Chase Brown. I'll throw in some Kyron. And then who do we want as our wide receiver 1? Could pull up Mike Evans. It's a little early. Could do Zay Flowers if we're a true believer. I think Zay Flowers is kind of a fun way to play it. Either him or Garrett Wilson feels like the right pick. It's hard to go against a healthy Mike Evans. Honestly, and playing in San Francisco could be really nice for Mike Evans. Yeah, let's go Zay Flowers. Let's see if Zay can convert some of those, get some touchdowns. Zay was getting touchdowns in college. Let's see if he can do it where we need it in NFL. He's not been a huge touchdown producer. Genty, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, Zay Flowers to start this best ball mania. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat, and we'll get back to the Bijan case. What's up, Charles? What's up, Chosen? How we doing, brother? Appreciate you. Oh, Paulino rated the pod 5 stars. My man. Appreciate that. It's out on Spotify. It's also on Apple Podcast. So I'm just getting started in the little podcasting streets, trying to figure this thing out. Have some fun with it. It's a completely separate product, completely separate thing from what we're doing here in the live streams. It's more like generic fantasy football, and you could say redraft focus, but just generic fantasy football analysis and super data focused, but quick, punchy episodes. Hope you guys like it. Give me feedback. I want to improve it. And yeah, so that's coming out about once a week, maybe twice a week if I can get it really rolling. Yo, what's up, Two Mules? How we doing, brother? A Genty Bowers team sometime soon. Not from me. I would never do that. Not in this lifetime. That was the whole meme last year, about a year ago, the whole Genty Bowers meme. But nah, I couldn't invest that much capital into the Raiders in the first and second round. That'd be insane. Yo, what's up, Jeff T? Yeah, we're all packed up over here. Aaron Sandy says, like the damn stream, fellas. Appreciate that, Aaron. Yeah, guys, like the stream. Make sure you're subbed. Go follow my new podcast. Links in description. Let's get back. This is a Best Ball Mania, but let's get back into the Bijan update, okay? So Stefanski doesn't really operate the way that they've been using Bijan in Atlanta before Stefanski got there. Even at peak Chubb, Kareem Hunt got about 29 snaps per game. Stefanski's own words on the new Atlanta backfield: we want to have an attack that is not just a one-person attack. You have to be balanced, right? Balanced. Enter Brian Robinson Jr. Atlanta traded for him in March. He's 6'1", 225. The actual threat isn't Brian Robinson's receiving work. He only had 37 targets combined the last 2 seasons. The threat is the goal line carries. Last year, Algier had 7 inside the 5 carries, and Bijan had 7. So that's not great. Bijan's touchdown profile is extremely fragile. In 2024, he had 14 rushing touchdowns, which is awesome. Last year, he only had 7 rushing touchdowns, 21st in the NFL. And I think that includes like QBs as well, right? QB rushing, all the rushing. He converted, this is Bijan, he converted just 45% of his 3rd and 4th and 1s last year. Brian Robinson is exactly the short yardage goal line specialist Stefanski wants. The touchdown upside has a real cap for Bijan. Here's the volume math. 78% snap share times Atlanta's 2025 pace came out to about 51 snaps a game for Bijan. A 70% snap share times Stefanski's pace gets us about 48 snaps a game for Bijan. The snap share drops, the raw snaps barely move. If the yardage holds up, if the efficiency increases, it should be a wash. The real variance is the touchdown. So my projection, I have 3 scenarios for 2026, about a bull, a base, and a bear case for Bijan. The bull case is the scheme tailwind hits. He gets about 19 carries a game, about 5.5 targets a game, 4.8 yards per carry, 16 touchdowns. He's going to average like 23 PPR points a game, and he'll get around 390 total fantasy points. The base case would be a typical Stefanski split workload. He's getting about 17.5 carries a game, 5 targets a game, 4.6 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns, and about 20 PPR points a game, about 336 fantasy points on this season. I think Carnell Tate could be a nice piece here. And then I could even do Joe Burrow, but I kind of want to push and pull up Marvin Harrison Jr. I'll take him over Tyson and Brian Thomas right now. Tootin could be a nice piece. If I didn't have Kyron, I'd feel probably a lot more bullish on going Tootin here. But I do want to grab some of these receivers. So I'm probably going to do Tate and Marvin Harrison, and then just push QB even further. So on this Best Ball Mania 7, I've started a 0-3-3-0, Ashton Genty, Chase Brown, Kyron Williams, And now I've gone 3 straight wide receivers with Zay Flowers, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm pretty bullish on Marvin Harrison Jr. for 2026. I think he could take a big step forward, a big year 3 leap, kind of like we saw with JSN last year, maybe. Maybe less efficient, but more volume than what JSN was getting. At least passing volume from that offense, but we'll get into that later as well. The bear case for Bijan is that Brian Robinson eats the goal line. Bijan ends up with like 16 to 17 carries a game, 4 to 5 targets a game, 4.5 yards per carry. Only 9 touchdowns would be the real hit. He's averaging about 17 PPR points per game. He only gets to about 300 PPR points total. So Bijan's still, I would say, a clear top 3 fantasy running back. I wouldn't really overthink that. It's obvious. But if you're expecting like 400 plus PPR fantasy points, that's kind of fighting 2 trends. The first one being Stefanski's never built around one back, and Bijan's touchdowns already dipped to 7 in 2025. His base case is like RB3, and then his floor is kind of like the bear case is like RB5. It's not given that he's going to be RB1, even though we're drafting him there. So that's a lot, but that's kind of my take on Bijan. As far as I could dive into it and get deep with it, I go all in on that in my very first podcast episode, and I also compare him to Jahmyr Gibbs. And so, spoiler alert, I think Bijan should either be the 102 or the 103 for fantasy, and even these best ball drafts. I think Gibbs is the case for the 101, and I think you can make a pretty good case for Jamar Chase being the 102. I'm okay with taking Bijan at the 102 and keeping Chase at the 103, but if ADP shifted and the market started taking Jamar Chase at the 102, I would follow that. I wouldn't worry about it at all. And I've already gone through my projections for Jamar Chase as well, and I can explain it kind of further. But let me catch up. Let me look at this team I'm building here, this Best Ball Mania team, catch up with the chat, and then I'll get into Gibbs because it's a little bit more exciting than what I just described for Bijan, the Gibbs case. It's pretty straightforward, I think, what we can potentially get with Gibbs. It's just increased opportunity. There are some changes. We'll talk about it too, but yeah, Zachariah Branch. I've been drafting a good amount of Zachariah Branch. I think he's a pretty fun pick in the late rounds. I'll do like a Zachariah Branch round 17 to around 18. It's not bad. Does Scotty win by a touchdown this week? Yeah, Jeff, I honestly think Scotty wins this week, and it's not even close. Spieth and Brooks Koepka were simming out pretty good. Scotty had like a 29% chance to win, according to the Sims. I think Brooks was like at 7%. Maybe Spieth was like at 5%. There's a few other guys in the 4 and 2 and 3% range, but this is a Scotty week. I'd almost guarantee Scotty wins this week. I probably should bet on it. Tucker Kraft would be fun here. I don't think I have a good way to get to Herbert. I guess I could always backstack him and worry about that later. This is where I want to take my first QB and maybe my first tight end. I don't mind Harvey or Dowdle. I like Chris Godwin. Of course, I like Michael Wilson. I've already got Marvin Harrison, so I've kind of already made that bet. I probably just do Tucker Kraft, and then I might just take Herbert and figure it out later. Or do I get my RB4 and be done? Pretty done with my RBs. I think I need a QB here. I think one QB here makes some sense. You know, I could just push it because I'm going to be stacking up Ward. I can get Love when it comes back around. I could take some cheaper QBs, but God, I'm going to go Chris Godwin there. I thought a lot about it. I almost took Harvey or Dowdle. Let me see if I can get Chris Godwin. If he's healthy with Mike Evans gone, are we selling him short that he's not the alpha receiver there? We're putting too much faith in Egbuka to do that in year 2. Godwin is kind of the volume earner there. We'll see. I don't know. Something I've been thinking about more lately, but I think ADP 85 for Chris Godwin's pretty sick. Also it gives me a stack. I could take Love with my next pick. I could take Baker, I can make something happen if like Kyler is there. So I've got some outs. I could even take Stafford with the Kyron team. I could take Mendoza later. Of course, I'm going to be targeting Cam Ward later. Jaden Reed is something I'm trying to come around on. Jaden Reed, I think he can earn some targets and have some respectable volume. If he can get to like 5.5 receptions per game, I think this is a pretty nice, appealing part of the board to take him. Wow, I just noticed this. Right before I picked Tucker Kraft, the drafter in the 10 spot who had Jaden Daniels succumb to the star method. He takes Antonio Williams at pick 82. You hate to see it. And he's definitely not throwing this draft because his team before then is solid. I'd argue it's a little, he's pissing down the board, pick 10 to 39. Jadarian Price is his anchor. But then he took Dowdle here, like, just wild. He fell victim to the star method. Yeah, what's up, M. Lars? How we doing? I'm actually eliminated from the tout contest. Hate to spoil it for you if you haven't seen this week's episode. As it was last week's episode. RIP. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. We did a stream last week with a bunch of the guys, a big panel. It was super fun. And I've got some plans to do some more collabs with some of the Think You Can Doubt bros in the near future. Okay. Herbert goes, Lawrence goes, Purdy, and Dart. Pretty standard stuff. I feel really good with Tucker Kraft. I think he could lead his team in targets. And he kind of needs the volume to justify his price because he's not going to be giving us big breakaway plays. I'm thinking about, week 17. We have the Rams versus the Bucks. So I've got some game correlation there. What else? I've got Chase Brown and Zay Flowers mini there. Genty and the Raiders, they play the Cardinals. So I've got something there too cooking up, which is kind of funny. Tennessee is the Steelers if I would have taken Dowdle, but I took Godwin. I think that was a good pick. Kraft plays the Texans. So I've got some ways to kind of like fall into some stacks here that could work out. I literally almost took RJ Harvey instead of Chris Godwin as well. Bo Nix is still there. Taking Nix unstacked seems fine. Kind of like his rushing upside. You got to worry about the ankle, but maybe I should take Stafford over him, or is that crazy? Just because I have the stack. I definitely think I want Jordan Love. I'm going to double tap. Probably going to double tap QB here. I think I just go Stafford. Bo Nix being injured is kind of worrisome as well. If I still take Nix, I could take Pittman here. I think he's a volume earner, a target earner. What do we need to see from Love? Wide receiver gets worse. I'll take Pittman. I'll get that fifth receiver. I kind of started late at receiver, taking 3 straight running backs. So I want to stay balanced. I want to keep taking some shots on receivers that I think can actually earn targets. I think Pittman can do that. I think he can be a guy that has, let's see, look at the second half of last year. Where was Pittman? Don't let me down. He's only earning like 4.5 receptions a game. So he's kind of, we need to see more than that on Pittsburgh this year. And maybe Pittsburgh's a higher passing volume offense than the Colts were last year. I don't definitively know the answer on that one yet. The reason I'm not afraid to take Stafford without Puka or Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, one of 4 running backs last season to have a single game with double-digit receiving touchdowns. So it's pretty rare. Not a lot of guys did that. Kyron can get it done. So that stack can work. Similar to the Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence stack, where they did a similar thing. No, you're good. You're good. M. Lars, no worries, brother. I'll still be here. We're still going to be streaming best ball all summer long and having fun on the channel. So a lot of good stuff coming. I mean, I really thought about going Love or Knicks there, but I want to kind of keep my team balanced with draft capital, and I'm behind at wide receiver, so I can't push that much longer. I have to get lucky. We'll see which quarterbacks come to me with my next picks. I'm definitely going to keep taking quarterbacks in these double-digit rounds. But I don't want to kind of give into the hype. I've drafted a bunch of teams with more expensive draft capital at QB. I feel like this team in this Best Ball Mania, I'm just going to push it. I'm trying to thread the needle. There goes Baker. Baker coming back to 132. Didn't expect it, but it would have been like sweet. Tyler Shuck is still available. Malik Willis is available. I think Malik Willis at pick 132 would make a lot of sense for my team, even though I was just shitting on the Dolphins. Sam Darnold, I don't know. I'd probably take Cam Ward over Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold's pretty easy to backstack. You can take Barner. You could get Shaheed. You could do Cup. You could do even Horton. I guess Shaheed's would probably go before pick 156, though. Yeah, I'd have to, if I did, and I don't know why I would even want to go with Sam Darnold. With the Seahawks playing the Carolina Panthers, they get the Rams before that. They get Philly before that. They have kind of a tough playoff run. I guess Carolina's not that bad, but overall, kind of like a tough playoff run. And there's a lot of things changing with Seattle, like from a coaching perspective. Okay, just retweeted that I'm drafting a Best Ball Mania 7 right now. Willis is there. I could do Willis and Cam Ward and be done. I think I just want one of them. Let's try to push Cam Ward. Well, I don't know. Should I even just take Cam Ward? I like Tracy. I could have done the Shaheed Darnold thing. Let me get Willis. Malik Willis is fun. Rushing upside. Give me some floor for Stafford's bad weeks. I'm going to push QB. Let's go Tracy here. Have some faith in Tyrone Tracy. He can handle the rock. He can handle the volume. They say Scadaboo's going to be ready week 1. Let's see, but he's kind of the tier break for me, Tyrone Tracy. Ooh, I could use the Rams tight end thing with T. Ferg later. And there's got to be so many Dolphins that go late. Like, Tutu Atwell's not even drafted. I think he's like not a bad pick. Tolbert, I don't know. Caleb Douglas, rookie, I don't know. Malik Washington, never been that good. Okay volume. Not the worst, but not the best. Chris Bell, rookie, injured. I don't know. I think honestly, I kind of prefer Tutu Atwell out of that group for a spike. Trying to figure out if Chris Bell or Caleb Douglas can hit as a rookie is a long shot. I don't mind the Greg Dulcich play, so we'll have to think about that later. If Cam Ward comes back around, that's probably my best bet. There's some things you can do with CJ Stroud late. Don't hate Daniel Jones, but he's injured, and taking him without any stacks. Bryce Young, we'll think it through when it comes around. Really, Cam Ward's probably the highlight pick if he, for some reason, falls way past ADP. Diggs goes 129 in this draft. That's news. He's going to continue to rise. could Diggs be a Kansas City Chief? I feel like we pretend that free agent receivers could be a Chief every single offseason. It rarely happens. I could see Diggs, I don't know, Las Vegas. I don't think they want him in Miami. Where else? Where do you guys think Diggs could go? How many? Let's go through the quarterbacks and we'll see, like, could Diggs fit in? Buffalo, almost certainly not. Probably not going back there, but it wouldn't be the strangest thing. I will say that. They brought in DJ Moore. I feel like no. Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. Honestly, could. I don't think that'd be the craziest thing. Commanders, I haven't heard anything around that. Eagles, no, probably not. Bengals, probably no. Bears, no. Patriots, no. I think we would have heard about it already. But they kind of need them. So Dallas, no, almost certainly not. Chargers, maybe. If they don't bring back Keenan Allen, and it sounds like they're not, maybe the Chargers. Probably not the Jags. Probably not the 49ers. The Giants. Maybe the Giants. They kind of have a need. They don't have like a true wide receiver too. I don't think I have that much Rashee Rice. I don't have enough that I'm like worried about it. Are we going to land this? We're going to land this pick? Hell yeah. So I get Cam Ward for my stack with Carnell Tate. Feels good. Done at QB. And then do I want to go tight end with Kenyon Sadiq? I kind of prefer Brenton Strange. Grab Cam Ward. We landed that stack. That was pretty sweet. Running backs here? No. Well, I don't hate Brian Robinson, but it's too early. Wide receivers? Probably not. Sadiq's okay. I kind of prefer Brenton Strange. I want a piece of that Jacksonville offense. I don't feel like I want a piece of that Jets offense. That's the difference for me there. Give me Brenton Strange. Also past ADP. Kenyon Sadiq was a little bit bigger of a faller. I don't feel like I need a Jet to win Best Ball Mania. But do I need a Jaguar? Like, sure. Liam Cohn offense. We saw what happened last year. Doesn't seem like a bad bet. I feel like Brenton Strange gonna play a lot too. And then the Jags in week 17, they get Washington, which is a nice matchup. Dallas the week before is not bad. Okay, in this Best Ball Mania draft, through my first 14 rounds, I have a 3-4-5-2 build. I started off with 3 running backs, then I went 3 straight receivers. I've tried to make a balanced build, kind of a late QB approach because I waited so long to get receiver. I needed to hammer some more receivers in those early QB rounds, so I pushed it, but I think it worked out. I've got Matthew Stafford with Kyron Williams as my stack, as my team partner. Naked Malik Willis, Cam Ward. And I got Cam Ward almost 20 picks past ADP, stacked up with Carnell Tate. Feels good. If it's a big Carnell Tate season, if he can earn like 6-7 receptions a game, just a total stud, then it's going to feel really good. Ashton Genty and Chase Brown at the 1-2 turn. A little bit of a thesis pick there. Give me access to the Bengals with Chase Brown. Kyron Williams, like I said, with the stack. Tyrone Tracy gives me my RB4 with some good floor. All different bye weeks. Could be hyper fragile. Could stop with those 4. Probably grab one more anyways. We'll see what the team stacks come out to. Zay Flowers, Carnell Tate stacked up. Marvin Harrison, year 3 breakout incoming? ? Chris Godwin feels good. That's the bring back for the Rams. I have Michael Pittman Jr. I had that in my back pocket in case I wanted to get late Aaron Rodgers. But also, I think he's a target earner, and him and Chris Godwin feel like good wide receiver 4 and 5s on this team. Tucker Kraft, almost borderline elite tight end. Can he lead the Packers in targets, receptions? Brenton Strange, stud. This is a good team. It's come together. You push QB a little bit. You got to thread the needle, but this is a good team. All of the position groups are good on this team. 4 picks left, and we have 2 coming up. Let's get into it. How are we going to land this one? It's a Best Ball Mania 7. What's up, Who Hames? How we doing, brother? Who Hames and I are going live this Sunday. I'm pumped. Pick 180, 181. If I do the Rams, it's Terrence Ferguson. I could pull him up, so I don't have to miss out on him. Maybe my last tight end. Might be worth it. Miami. We have the rookie, Chris Bell. Could be kind of fun. Greg Dulcich could be late as well. I mentioned I don't mind Tutu Atwell. I don't even know about Malik Washington. I guess he's fine. Do I need one of them? Probably not. I'm least likely to want to draft a Dolphin. And then I have Tennessee. I think we're done there, though. Gunnar Helm is available. That's actually kind of interesting. I don't mind Chimere Dike, but he's probably not going to be able to earn targets. There's a chance Gunnar Helm could do that. It's going to be Tate earning the targets there. And then Wandale also. So, I don't know. It seems kind of thin for Gunnar Helm as well. People like him a lot. His ADP is pretty high. He did okay as a rookie. I might just go either Brian Robinson or Tank Bigsby with one of these picks and be done at running back because I like the thesis play there. Don't need the QB. So let's go Brian Robinson. I was just describing my bear case against Bijan. It has a lot to do with Brian Robinson poaching the goal line work, getting 25 to 30 snaps a game. Totally possible. Having his own little role, not just a true handcuff. Is it Chris Bell? No. Let's see if I got Ted Hurst. Yeah, let's go Ted Hurst. It could have been Zachariah Branch. I don't give a shit about these Miami stacks. I'm not drafting Malik Willis for his 1 to 1.5 passing touchdowns per game. With the rushing upside, so I'm gonna just not worry about stacking or forcing a stack for the Dolphins, who I have low confidence in their touchdown ability. If anything, I just want Malik Willis for the fantasy upside, his rushing upside. Konami code, pretty cheap at pick 130. We need to stack up Cam Moore, which we did, and even Stafford picks make a lot more sense. So let's get these Dolphins out of here. I don't want to invest in the Dolphins. Greg Dulcich could be fine. People forget Greg Dulcich was a top 10 tight end in week 17 last year. I wouldn't hate Greg Dulcich as my last pick, last tight end. I'm in a spot now, the 3-5-6-2, where I could be done at any position group. So this is I have 2 luxury picks coming up. We'll figure it out. What is everyone else doing in this part of the board? They're taking like random swings at rookie running backs. Dylan Sampson, I don't mind. Yeah, Charles was saying Atlanta. Yeah, I threw in that Brian Robinson pick after I went deep. Why we are skeptical about Bijan's true upside, the goal line carries. What's up, fam? Guys, make sure you're subscribed to Who Hames channel. I'm going over there this Sunday. We're going to draft some teams, have some fun. Boom. Who Hames channel, link in description or link in the chat right now. But guys, come on. You guys see Who Hames going live every single day, drafting 4 p.m. Central, 5 Eastern, generally. Make sure you're subbed. Catch me over there this Sunday. And if you were here last season, I mean, Who Hames and I have done like, I don't even know how many streams together. A ton. We're going to do a ton more. I've been busy lately. It's hard for me to pin down a lot of guests on the channel. I don't know if you guys heard or if I've said it enough, but I'm moving. I'm moving in less than a month. I'm moving from Houston to the Austin area. So I packed up most of my house and I'm doing a lot of extracurricular activities, chores, and responsibilities and duties to get this move done. So it's hard for me to commit to having guests on when the last second I had to cancel or I'm late. And then just, the normal responsibilities of being a dad and putting my kids down every night and helping the wifey with that. And so there's an unpredictability element if one of the kids wakes up right before I go live where I have to pause the stream for 20, 30 minutes, cancel the stream. And I hate doing that to guests. So it's been tough for me to schedule guests this season, really in general. But my 3-year-old, she's staying up later and later. Like she was awake 10 minutes before the stream started. And that was just not ideal. Even after I got her marble slab ice cream after swim practice and she promised me she'd go to bed early, she still was staying up late. So go figure. Seattle for Diggs would be fun. I think so, but they just signed Rashid Shaheed to that big contract, but they could always use another wide receiver. I don't know how much they're going to be passing this year, though. It seems like they're not like so bought into being passing a ton. They're going to run with Jadarian Price a lot. Okay, Chris Bell's still there. Even though I said everything I said about him and why I didn't want him, I'm a little more in if he's still there. Although I kind of want just to take Tutu instead. What do you guys think? If you give me a response in the chat, is there more upside in going with Tutu Atwell stacked with Matthew Stafford? Or, Jesus Christ. Tutu Atwell stacked with Malik Willis or Chris Bell? I'm definitely going Terrence Ferguson. So I've got another Ram. That felt pretty good. Let me know. Do you guys have any faith in Chris Bell? Should I just take Tutu instead? Do both of these guys suck? I'm going Tutu. I'm going Tutu. Hartman said Tutu. Hartman's a ball knower. Got to go Tutu there. Even though I didn't want any Dolphins on this team. I want to show you guys something. Let's go to the garage tiers. Let's go to the spreadsheets. Let's pull open the data. I don't know if it's the second half of last year or if it's the full year. But when we go and find Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell. Oh, that was when he was injured. It's the full year. Ooh, that was bright. Tutu Atwell. Full year, he averaged 5 fantasy points per touch. But damn it. Actually, he missed all this time. Only had 5 touches. So, but 26 fantasy points on 5 receptions. He had a touchdown. I don't know. Small sample size. That did kind of stand out to me, though. It was kind of funny as I was scrolling through my list. I resorted this to be sorted by touches per game. I used to have it sorted by the spike weeks, but you can still see all the spike week data. I don't know. Tutu, I think long bombs, touchdowns. Chris Bell, I think injured rookie. I got Ted Hurst instead. Kind of fun. Hartman backed me up on that. So if it's a bad pick, blame Hartman. Is this Clark Kent? The commies are the betting favorite for Diggs. Is that right? I don't even know if I knew that. I don't even know if I knew that straight up. Yeah, is Chris or Candyman going live with who? We'll have to find out. We'll see who shows up on whose channel. Make sure you're subscribed to Who Ames. Make sure you're subscribed here. Since we've started going live tonight, I've added 2 subs to the channel. We can do better than that. I know there's people out there watching. Maybe they're hate watching, that aren't subbed. Last time, I haven't looked at Google Analytics in forever, but last time I looked, it said 50% of all channel viewers are not subscribed. Some people are watching on their phone. All you have to do is click subscribe. If you're watching on your TV, pull open your phone, click subscribe. That easy. Also, come get in the chat. Say what up. Draft with us. Have some fun. But appreciate all of the subs out there. And we're 25 away from 1,000, which is pretty cool. I've got a lot planned for the 1,000 sub stream. It's gonna be on a weekend. It's gonna be on a time when I can do like a semi-marathon, like a 5-hour, 6-hour stream, and it's gonna be fun. We might end up doing some drafts at least to kick it off, or when I have guests if they really want to draft. But one of my big ideas, and there's a giveaway. There's gonna be a member giveaway and a sub giveaway. But one of my big ideas that I came up with, and there's gonna be channel improvements. I'm gonna improve some of my layouts, my overlays, some of my, all of that behind the scenes stuff. Maybe update the intro, but basic stuff, but little channel improvements, quality improvements. The one thing I came up with recently that I thought was really fun is to have a portion of the stream be anything but drafting, where we just go to like a random, like we'll give chat some ideas, some suggestions to poll and pick what we do. We might spin the wheel and do something, but like I'm thinking we're gonna do like a round of mini putt online, and we'll find, I don't know what's the best website anymore, but I've done tons of these mini putt games online with like friends and stuff. We'll do one that the chat can like join. I'll put the link in like a private game, and then we'll all join and we'll all be playing mini putt on like one course, and then we'll see who wins, who gets like the lowest mini putt score. It'd be kind of fun. So that would probably last like, we could even do a couple rounds. That could be like 30 minutes or so. We could do like marble racing. If you guys have never seen marble racing, it's pretty funny, but there's like this, it's just digital, simulated marble races. They're really funny. And so in a similar way, everyone in the chat can jump in, they get to claim a marble, and then we'll race it down a track. We might do a few of those. Might do like a Grand Prix where we race like across like 3 or 4 different tracks, and more. We'll do other games too. We might, who knows what we'll get into, but I'm thinking it up. So like anything but drafting, just like fun things we can do on stream to kind of make it different is what I'm scheming up for the 1,000. I think it could be fun. Yeah, what's up, Putt Daddy? Exactly. Yeah, already sent him to Austin. Already packed him up. What's up, Frizz? In a startup with kickers and defense, who's your top 3 kicker and defense pick this season? So I'm always Dicker the kicker. I mean, he's my boy. He's my fellow Longhorn. Big support. Dicker the kicker. The guy to Jacksonville, whatever his name is, I forget already, but the Jacksonville kicker is a stud. And then you're going to want a kicker in a high-scoring offense. So I'd probably go for like Dallas kicker or San Francisco kicker or Lions kicker or Eagles kicker. Just throwing out some names. Yo, what's up, Jose Cruz? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. Incredible profile picture. Again, every time I see it, every time I pull it up, I remember that's your profile pic, and it makes me laugh. Love dodgeball. Be like happy. Like and sub. Oh, wait. That's not happy. Also, let me edit this real quick. Well, I'll just leave it up because we just did. Well, I guess I'll edit this super quick. It said the banner said Pitbull draft, but we just did a BBM 7 and we got to review it. So that's still accurate. Save and then scroll. Boom. There we go. Well, let me edit that again. Out tomorrow. Out now. Okay, and then we already had the podcast with Neil. That was super fun. Sunday night, we did a early week Ballsy show. Bindles and I had Neil on. If you haven't seen that channel, go watch it after this. Pretty fun. Super fun, actually, but some pretty good drafts. We did 2 drafts, a Best Ball Mania and a Pitbull, and we're about to do another Pitbull right now, so we're about to get right back into it. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah, backgrounds. Boom. Like, subscribe. Are you too good for your home? That's your home. If you don't like and subscribe, you're going to end up on my list. There's a lot of lists going around right now. BBG's got a shit list. PPR's got a shit list. Everyone's got Emo's got a shit list. Everyone's got a shit list. But if you sub, if you're one of the people that subs, I'll cross your name off the list. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, you're on my list. Plus, I mean, what do you get for subscribing to the channel? Well, it's really simple. You get in the circle of trust. And we haven't talked about this a lot this year. It's been a busy year. But you want to be in the circle of trust. Get in the circle. We got a lot of good people in here. The subscribers are in here. Tom Hanks, Denzel, Jaden Daniels. If you're not subscribed, you're out of the circle. You guys didn't know Tom Hanks is subscribed to this channel? He is. My favorite actor. He's subscribed. Here's an oldie but goodie. Like, subscribe. You can do both. You don't have to pick one. What else we got? Subscribers? Possibly you. Classic. I think that's good. That's it. Make sure you're subscribed. And we're about to jump back into another draft. Boom. Here we are. But let's review this one first. Yeah, and also I'm going to catch up with y'all in the chat. What's up, Patrick? How we doing, brother? Happy Wednesday. What is your biggest hot take? Biggest hot take? So I kind of led tonight, and the title of the stream is like the best picks in round one. Probably I don't know if it's like, it's not that crazy, but I alluded to it. There's a good case for Gibbs at the 101, Jamar Chase at the 102, and Bijan Robinson at the 103. So a lot of people have Robinson as their 101. He's my 102 or 103. I don't know if that's my biggest hot take. One of my other big hot takes would be, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. should be going ahead of Carnell Tate. Marvin Harrison Jr. They both went to Ohio State, right? Marvin Harrison's one of the best prospects to come out of there, and it'll be Jeremiah Love next, but Marvin Harrison is a stud prospect from there. The same vein in my mind as JSN. Kind of the same standard. Carnell Tate's not that at all. He can be good. But are you telling me Tennessee's so much better of a team, so much better of a passing offense, that Cam Ward's so much better of a quarterback than whatever Arizona has going on to justify that you're putting Marvin Harrison behind Carnell Tate? I don't know. Rookie season Carnell Tate could be good. I drafted him here. But Marvin Harrison going in the 6th round? Bruh. Marvin Harrison should be going ahead of Luther Burden. Luther Burden also goes too high. But Marvin Harrison can get it done. I mean, we've been drafting him in the 1st round, the 2nd round, his rookie and his sophomore year. Now it's in year 3, and all of a sudden he's a bad pick. No, I don't think so at all. I think the data shows he can earn the volume and the targets. This is the full year last year, but it's not a great picture because of the injury. So over the entire year, he was only earning like 3.4 touches per game, but his fantasy points per touch, 2.62, was pretty nice. It was better than Puka's, but again, Puka had way more volume. But it's kind of in line with like George Pickens. It's kind of in line with like Nico Collins. So imagine Marvin Harrison Jr. being healthy and getting 4, 5, 5.5 receptions per game. He's going to put up numbers potentially like a Nico Collins or George Pickens if he can hold his efficiency. And I think he can. We've seen some spike weeks out of him. We've seen some big games. Even if his efficiency goes down, if it goes down to like the 2.3 range, he's still rivaling AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, much better than Stephon Diggs, much better than Jacoby Myers, better than Pittman. But they're guys who go way ahead of him. I mean, Igbuka, also pretty much a stud on the fantasy points per touch, the 255, but he's only getting 4 receptions a game. I forget, the second half of last year, was it actually better for Marvin Harrison? Well, actually, the other point I want to make is full season for Michael Wilson was pretty good. 2.24 fantasy points per game and 4.6 touches per game. That's in the gold zone. That's pretty elite. Top 24 ranked in touches per game among wide receivers. And I say touches because this is receptions and rushing attempts. So if Marvin Harrison can just replicate what Michael Wilson did, he's a top 24 wide receiver. And honestly, during the second half of last year, when Michael Wilson was a complete stud, a top 10 wide receiver in the second half of last year, that could be Marvin Harrison's like ceiling. If Marvin Harrison can get 6+ receptions, touches per game, and anywhere around 2.3, 2.4 fantasy points per touch, we're talking 15 points a game. We're talking he's better than Amon-Ra. We're talking he's better than George Pickens. And that's what Michael Wilson already did. So we know that Marvin Harrison Jr. is more talented than Michael Wilson. Is there some split if they're both on the field together? How much does Trey McBride eat into this? Well, Trey McBride just had his best season ever, and it didn't matter that Michael Wilson was still going off. I know the offense was playing from behind. Their defense sucked. They're throwing the ball. Brissett was there, led the league in pass attempts, dropbacks. Well, what's changed? I mean, they're still going to be doing that potentially. So my case for Marvin Harrison, I'm still big in on Michael Wilson too, but there's a real way that you can easily project Marvin Harrison for like a top 12 wide receiver, a top 20 wide receiver easily. He just needed to earn some more targets, receptions, and I think he'll do that when he's healthy. So that's maybe my hottest take, is playing the Arizona Cardinals wide receivers very aggressively. Great question. Hey, appreciate you, Sam Robinson. Thanks for subbing, brother. We got a big goal to hit 1,000 subs. You're helping me get there. Appreciate you. Got to have Aubrey in the top 3 kickers. Right. Cowboys kicker, right? But that he's smart. Forgot about the list. Anthony, I know. We used to run through the reasons to subscribe like way more often last year. We got to get back into that. Get back to our roots here. What it's all about. Having fun, learning a little bit more each day, drafting best ball teams. You guys rock. Okay. Rio for one and done low ownership. Rio Hisatsune? I mean, you could. I think a lot of, if you're not Scotty this week, you're going to, I mean, for the DFS lineups, they're all going to be Scotty. For the one and dones, who did I pick? I'd have to pull mine up. I already forgot. I picked them all in yesterday or maybe even Monday, but I know Rio seems like a long shot. I still picked guys who had good odds. I picked Brooks twice, and I think I picked Spieth the other time. So I just picked the guys with the top odds who aren't Scotty Scheffler. On Christian Kirk, is he worth a late round pickup? I was drafting Christian Kirk before the NFL draft. I haven't been drafting him since. I didn't like how bad he was in the Texans last year, but I've liked Christian Kirk throughout his career. I think he's a dart throw because he's on the 49ers. He thinks he's still draftable. You can take him in the last round. I don't think it's the worst pick. I think there's worse picks going. I took Tutu Atwell. So, and then for like managed leagues or anything else, I'd probably say no. It's going to be too hard to know when to start. And even if he's on the field getting snaps, he's like really inefficient. He can't get it done, can't earn targets anymore. So I would say like just a best ball late round flyer. Yo, what's up, Darth Carter? How we doing, brother? The people have spoken. People say they don't like the glasses. So be like water. Take the path of least resistance. And we'll see. We'll bring the shades back every now and then. We'll see how it goes. This is a Best Ball Mania 7 team. I just drafted. I think it's pretty fire. 3573. Good numbers to start with. Went Ashton Genty, Chase Brown. Okay, from starting there, I mean, as Goofy says, running back, get your money back. Okay, but what are we going to do next? Kyren fell to me. I think Kyren's a smash pick in the third round. I mean, the dude is averaging 16 touchdowns over each of the last 2 seasons. Who else can do that? Who else has that? He had 13 touchdowns last year. He had 16 the year before. So he's averaging 15 touchdowns. He had 15 the year before. He's averaging 15 touchdowns a year. Who else is doing that? Jonathan Taylor? Yeah. He had 20 last year, 13 the year before, 8 before that. So this is like Jonathan Taylor levels of touchdowns we're talking about. You know what's crazy? Isaac Tesla had 6 reception touchdowns on 16 receptions. Bijan Robinson, some people's 101, had 7 rushing touchdowns on 287 attempts. He also had 4 receiving touchdowns on 79 receptions. But Isaac Tesla had more receiving touchdowns than Bijan last season. He had 2 more on 63 less receptions. He also had 1 less receiving touchdown than Bijan had rushing touchdowns on 271 less touches. Pretty insane. Do we draft Tesla? As people have been. Tesla's pretty expensive, I would say, for being 4th target earner in that offense, but it's a good offense to be a guy in. Yeah, I'm not really drafting Tank Dell. Maybe I should consider Noel in the last round. I think Noel was okay last year. Not great. He was okay week 17. I like Higgins more, honestly. I'm pretty in on Higgins. I think he could be fun. He was great week 17. One of the top 10 wide receiver. The board reached a consensus, yeah. What's up, Covers? How we doing, brother? Good to see you. It's AI tonight. Yeah, it's true. All right, so then in round 3, I smashed Kyren because he earns touchdowns. This is a half PPR site. Touchdowns matter. Then we took Zay Flowers at pick 37. Obviously, Lamar Jackson didn't come back around, but I took Carnell Tate at pick 60, Marvin Harrison at 61. I just went on a big rant about why I like Marvin Harrison this year. Tucker Kraft, pick 84. That felt good. And then I had a dilemma here. I mean, I even had a dilemma at pick 84. I was thinking, do I take Herbert? No, I decided to push quarterback, take Godwin, because I took 3 straight running backs. I needed to get that draft capital wide receiver. So I take Chris Godwin there and actually made it's a great pick on this team. It's had a lot of outs later, and it still feels really good as my wide receiver 4. It gives me a bring back from my Stafford Kyren game stack week 17. I did take Stafford at the 108. I pair him up with Kyren. Like I said earlier, Kyren, one of only 4 running backs last year with multiple receiving touchdowns in a single game. So very rare connection there. Travis Etienne was another one with T-Law, to name a few. Michael Pittman, I pushed QB again. I could have taken Love. I could have taken Nix or Murray. I push them all. I get Pittman as my wide receiver 5. I think he can earn targets. Then I took Nick Willis at 132 because the guy has the Konami code. Tyrone Tracy at 133. I didn't care about these other tight ends. I said, you know what? Maybe I should have taken Cam Ward at 133. Let's push our luck because his ADP is 138. I get Cam Ward 20 picks past ADP to complete my Carnell Tate stack. Feels good. Then I take Brenton Strange because he's a stud. He's on a good offense. Liam Cohen, enough said. Want a piece of the Jags. Made sense there. I passed on Kenyon Sadiq. Pick 180. I get my 5th and final running back, Brian Robinson Jr. He could be the biggest touchdown vulture of 2026. Ted Hurst. Let's take an upside swing. We've already invested in Chris Godwin. Didn't get Baker Mayfield, but maybe you want pieces of Tampa Bay's offense. Historically been a good bet. Trey Ferguson made it back to me, or not Trey Ferguson, Terrence Ferguson. So I did get another piece of the Rams offense. That feels pretty cool. And then I took Tutu Atwell with my very last pick. I don't really care about stacking that much for the Dolphins. I actually was talking badly about them earlier. Worst offense, worst defense. But in the last round, I can think of worse picks than Tutu Atwell. I can think of a lot of better picks. I almost took Chris Bell, but I Hartman made me do it, so blame him. Also going in round 18, we see Emmanuel Wilson starting to fall there. Penix gets drafted. A.D. Mitchell. I don't know. I'm not super psyched on the Jets. Chris Bell did go. Elijah Surratt went. We have Deshaun Watson getting drafted a lot more lately. Jalen Knoll, like we mentioned in the chat. Chris Brazel. We have Young on the Bengals, Connor on the Cardinals, and Njoku on the Chargers, the last picks in here. That's a Best Ball Mania 7. I like this team. Looking at it from this view as well, late QB, but I got 3 of them, and they all feel good. Konami code mixed with pocket passers. Running backs, heavy draft capital early, waited, got the guy before the tier break, Tyrone Tracy, a late. Some people would say contingent upside. I'm not really playing Brian Robinson like he's a handcuff. I think he has standalone value. I think he's better than Tyler Algier, and we've seen Algier have some standalone value. Zay Flowers need a big year 4 out of him. Carno Tate need a good rookie season. Marvin Harrison, the year 3 breakout. Chris Godwin, healthy. Michael Pittman on a new team, but could he be the top target earner? Ted Hurst, fun rookie pick. Tutu Atwell for the bombs. A spike. Can we get one spike week when it matters during the fantasy playoffs? Tucker Kraft, Brenton Strange, Terrence Ferguson. Totally fine tight end room. The wide receivers, obviously, I don't have the top end firepower, but I have some volume in here. I have some stacks, have some good pieces, some young players, some veteran players. I'd give the receiver room. It's probably my weakest link here. I tried to make up for it by pushing QB, and I think that actually made it usable and good. I'm going to go quarterbacks, B. Running backs, this has got to be like an A- or just like an A. Wide receivers, B. If you're really critical, you could say B-. Maybe I get the 8th wide receiver. I don't think the 8th wide receiver is going to make a difference. It's all about the draft capital anyways. I got 5 of them around pick 100. So, B, solid B. Tight ends, I would say just B+. No elite upside, but some nice teams. Green Bay, Jacksonville, LA. Charles says, this year has a weird feeling to it. Like the top wide receiver injuries year, something is going to give. And QBs get injured like all the time too. So we'll just like see what happens. Let's get back into another draft. I'm going to join. I already maxed the Dachshund. I'm kind of done with this puppy. I don't really want to draft it anymore. The Frenchie 3 Superflex is still open. That's funny. Let's do a Pitbull. I've got 5 left to go. Waiting on 6. These kind of take a little bit to fill, so I wouldn't be surprised. You guys can jump in if you want. Come draft with me. Come get in the chat. Say what up. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button. Do all of the things you're supposed to do to support the channel. We're almost to 1,000 subs, and we're going to have a party. We're going to have a 1,000 sub party. Okay, waiting on 7. The number's getting worse. This is not the direction we were supposed to go. Let me see where we're at. Hell yeah. 976 subs. We've added 3 subs since we started going live tonight. Not bad. We can do better. I know there's someone out there watching that's not subscribed. Help me out. Smash the subscribe button. And while we're waiting to fill this pit bull, we need 6 more. Let me give you some reasons to subscribe to the channel here. First off, are you too good for your home? Like and subscribe. What else we got? I mean, I just ran through these, but we used to do it more often. It's so fun. I want to get into it again. Also, I should get rid of this, and then let's put me here. There's 2 paths forward. You can either like or you can subscribe. But technically, you can do both in this simulated universe. Do both. Subscribers, possibly you. It's always oldie but goodie. Can you guys believe that Step Brothers is, I think is it 20 years old this year? It's like close to 20 years old. If you subscribe to the channel, I'll take you off the list. But if you're not subscribed, you're technically on my shit list. And When you subscribe, you go from being on the list to being in the circle of trust. You're going to want to be in the circle. There's a lot of benefits, a lot of good people in there. And not only, I mean, this is my campaign for you guys to subscribe. You can also become a channel member. Channel members get access to channel only or member only posts. I haven't technically done any member only streams, but I have done some videos and I premiere them to channel members first. The biggest perk you get being a channel member is I will share with you personally all of my data models, my projections, my spreadsheets, anything I put together, whether it's for the big board, which I did. I'm about to update mine for Best Ball Mania. That'll be coming out soon. I have my garage tiers, which we were just going through, all that data that I had all last year that I've updated for this year that we've been using. You get access to that if you want it. I did data models and schedule predictions for the Scramble and the Albatross, the PGA Best Ball tournaments. We had a lot of golf grinders tuning in who became members to get access to those. And yeah, so and all of my existing channel members, thanks so much. Shoot me either a DM on Twitter. You can follow me at FFB Garage. You can shoot me a DM on Discord. I'm Chris_the Candyman. Or you can shoot me an email. I need to check my email. I haven't checked it in a long time, but send me an email. It's just fantasyfootballgarage@gmail.com. If you're a member and you want access to the Google Sheets, the data models, all of this good stuff. I'll even share this one. I just made this one recently, but it's just a really basic NFL playoff schedule, fantasy schedule. I've got the teams, the bye weeks. I've got their opponents in 15, 16, 17. If they're home, they're white. If they're away, they're gray. In week 17, if they're in a dome, they're underlined. I have Mike Clay's rankings as of last week, post NFL draft, defensive rankings for the opponents. The top ranked defense, according to Mike Clay, for 2026 is the Los Angeles Rams. Tough matchup. The worst defense is Miami, according to Mike Clay. And then I averaged it out for the fantasy playoffs. So the darker red, the worse. The Baltimore Ravens have a kind of a tough playoff schedule. It gets easier at least in week 17 against the Cincinnati Bengals. But like Atlanta has a really easy playoff schedule. They get the Saints in week 17. Their toughest matchup is the Bucks, but it's at home in week 16 in the Dome and week 17 in the Dome. Week 15, they're on the road in Washington. At least the weather should be hopefully okay in week 15 then, but it could be cold, I guess. And that's the 30th ranked defense, so not even a good defense there. And then we have the bye weeks over here. Bye-mageddon is not a huge problem this year. There's 6 teams on byes in week 11. The most common one you're going to see in your tight end and your quarterback rooms. Pretty evenly distributed otherwise, though, so it's not too bad this year. So waiting on 2. And I did all of that without sharing my screen. Classic. But the data models, the NFL schedule for fantasy, you can access it all if you're a channel member. Of course I don't look at the chat when I rant. You guys know this. Rip the De Niro screen. Yeah, what's up? Bayou Bengal. What's up, brother? How we doing? Yeah, feet picks next. I'm actually barefoot right now. It wouldn't be too hard for me to share the feet, but that's actually for the channel members only. I was ranting about the benefits of being a channel member. That might have to join the list. How we doing, brother? Good to see you, Bayou Bengal. I would take Charles off of the list for 500 site credits. I would sell out. Jose said he's in the pit bull. Let's go. You know what I should do, Jose? I need to make a new background like the ones I just went through, all the subscriber stuff. And it's going to be dodgeball, and it's going to be the dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge. But it's going to be subscribe, dip, dive, duck, and subscribe. That's what it should be. Or it could just be like subscribe, like, share, comment, subscribe. But it would be like the scene. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm workshopping that That could be a fun one. Waiting on 2 more people for a pit bull. These are kind of hard to fill. I usually I did some cardio over the weekend at the gym, and I was trying to fill one, and it took a little while, and I was starting to get pissed off because it took 17 minutes to fill, and I was 17 minutes into a maximum incline uphill fast-paced walk, and then it finally filled. So I ended up doing a fast-paced max incline walk for like 45 minutes, which is way too long. I didn't want to do that much. Usually I could, and sometimes I'll start a draft when I'm doing like cardio, and then I'll finish it like at the weight rack or something, but it's too distracting to just, even to put it down, hit the sets, and then make a pick. I'm always afraid I'm going to miss a pick. If I'm in like the 12 spot or like the 1 spot, it makes it a lot easier for making 2 picks in a row. But if you're in like pick 5 to 8, it's pretty hard to put the phone down in the gym, focus, and then, get back into it. Okay, I see some familiar names. We got me in the 5 spot. Jose, which one are you again? Let me know. I recognize a few of these names. Wow, we have Black Jesus in here. Nice. Danimal in the 11 spot. That's a familiar name. Who's Danimal? And then Hartman's in the 12. My guy. Yeah, I will do it. I'm gonna. Oh, I have a sticky note right here. All right. Dodgeball. Sub. Like. ... Sub. Background. That's up next. That will definitely do that. Sticky noted it. I'm putting it on this desk. Guarantee that sticky note gets lost. But maybe tonight, after I end the stream, I could probably make that in like 10 seconds. Jose says he's in the 3 spot. Nice. Yeah, JAS 2500. Let's go. What's up, Danimal? How we doing, brother? I knew I recognized Danimal. Danimal's Danimal. That's an easy one. On the clock, and this is JT. This is JT every time. Not even a question. Easy click. JT is one of my preferred picks in the first round. The clickbait thumbnail YouTube title is like my favorite picks in the first round. The first Best Ball Mania draft we did tonight, I really went in hard on Bijan, bull case, base case, and bear case. I was leading into like getting into the Gibbs piece. I think I'll save that for another time because let's just draft and have fun and talk with the chat. I don't really want to do another tirade. And then I also can go pretty hard on Chase, Puka, JSN, and Taylor and McCaffrey. And then I've done big deep dives on them because I've got a new podcast. It's called Edge Detection. It's on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Links in description. Go subscribe. Go follow whatever it is there. Give me a 5-star rating like Paulino did. If you're a true, real one, I would appreciate that. I'm just trying to grow it, have fun doing it. I'm releasing 1 podcast a week. I might even release 2 this week because I've got the one that's JT versus McCaffrey in the hopper. Spoiler alert, you can tell here, I'm drafting JT over McCaffrey. And then I have the Amon-Ra St. Brown versus CeeDee Lamb versus Justin Jefferson one cooking up, and I should be able to get that one out as well this week. So I might just do 2 episodes this week. The episode 1 was Bijan Robinson versus Gibbs. Episode 2 was Jamar Chase versus Puka versus JSN. And the more I looked into it, it's just spoiler alert, but you can listen to the episode. I'm pretty bullish on Jamar Chase this year. I'm totally cool with Puka. I think JSN's kind of a trap. I don't mind McCaffrey. I actually do like McCaffrey a lot. I don't know for sure yet whether I like Amon-Ra more than McCaffrey, but I need to figure that out next. I definitely like JT ahead of McCaffrey and JSN. And then here, Derrick Henry seems like the smash play. Could do Brock Bowers. Probably should. I'll go Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was just such a stud in the second half of 2025 when Lamar Jackson was back and the offense was rolling, averaging 19 fantasy points a game, 0.9 fantasy points per touch. He had 188 touches weeks 9 through 17, 10 touchdowns across those 9 weeks. So a touchdown, more than a touchdown a game, over 20 touches a game. He's getting 21 touches per game, super elite numbers. Had 1,000 rushing yards just in half a season alone. The guy is an animal. So, a machine. He's King Henry. He can stiff arm you into the shadow realm. We've seen him do it in the intro 1,000 times. Stud. I'll take Derrick Henry in the second round. JT Derrick Henry, sign me up. $10 seconds is a long time. Bowers would have been the other pick there. I think Bowers is an interesting pick. I haven't done a deep dive on McBride and Bowers yet. That could be an episode I do soon. As I'm playing it currently, I'm pretty much a fade on not a fade, but like I'm a slight fade on Bowers and McBride. I'm not hitting them a lot. I think their opportunity cost is super expensive in the second round. I know McBride's getting pushed. Like McBride's here, pick 29. I might do it here. It's a little bit more appealing. Otherwise, yeah, Josh Jacobs is a fun pick. AJ Brown's an obvious pick. I think I might just go AJ Brown. I get the follow on McBride though. Should I do it? I just dug myself out at wide receiver. I don't really want to do it. I want to go AJ Brown instead. I think AJ Brown could be that stud, that guy. I was streaming with Neil Orfield on Sunday night with Bindles on the Ballsy show. Go check that one out. Super fun. And Neil's super bullish on AJ Brown. So I just got an email from Google. They're limiting usage for Google Gemini starting on Monday. No, starting today, May 20th. Incredible. I'm subscribed to Gemini. I have a pro plan there. I'm subscribed to Perplexity. I've got a pro plan there. These guys, every month, they're updating their terms, limiting us more and more. We're getting less and less for our dollar in the AI computing space. Insane. Cheap bastards. What's next? They're going to have ads running in our AI queries and computing space in our results. Okay, this is a pit bull. I'm in the 4th round. I did take AJ Brown over Trey McBride. I don't like the way my teams have looked when I'm building elite tight end. And it's not just about like drafting a team that looks like you want it to. We're trying to win this thing. I don't know if I need Trey McBride. It's a smaller field tournament. Compared to BBM, it's 28,000. It's still a large field tournament, but the final size is nice, 156. So we're on the clock again. Bucky is there. I'm going to go Mike Evans, I think. It'd be him or JMO or Jalen Waddle or Devontae. I'm just going to take Mike Evans. I'm slightly bearish on Bucky Irving. I think everyone kind of is lately. He's been falling. There's some fears around him. Mike Evans feels nice. I don't think I have enough data on Mike Evans from last season, considering he wasn't really healthy. I don't know if I have a representative data set. Yeah, I guess it's okay. So Mike Evans in here was wide receiver 23, the second half of the season, ranked on his touches per game. So yeah, no, this still works. So this is kind of why this is like the this is like the bull case for Mike Evans. The second half of the season, but it was only 3 games, so then shit. I mean, it's still 2.74 fantasy points per touch is really good. He had almost 5 touches per game when he was healthy, but again, it was 3 games, 13 fantasy points per game. What about the whole season? What was Mike Evans the whole season? How many more games did he play? He ended up with 7 games, so a little bit better sample size, but now he's like way down here. He was injured for some of those games. Only 4 receptions per game, 2.34. So we just need to get Mike Evans back up to like a healthy 5 receptions per game, and he's solid. He's going to be in the realms of, it doesn't sound good, but maybe a Cortland Sutton plus. If we get him to all the way to 5, he can be like a Garrett Wilson or a AJ Brown territory. So that's kind of what we're going for. And I think in a Kyle Shanahan offense that likes to target their best receiver, I think Mike Evans can get to 5 receptions per game. Cam Scadaboo's falling. I'm not really drafting him as much. He's not healthy. I like Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is not, and this is the whole season data, not a huge reception earner, like not in the elite space, but he's elite on touchdowns and fantasy points per touch. Like super elite. So that makes up for a lot. The efficiency is huge. I am going to go, I'm considering Swift here. I'm considering Lamar Jackson. Let's just go Devontae Adams. So I've got Jonathan Taylor with my first pick, then Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams. I like this receiver room pretty much any year for fantasy in the last like 5 years. This is a insanely fun, good receiver room. Will it work in 2026? We'll find out. Some pretty solid offenses outside of the Colts. Some pretty solid offenses here. Also, my total like bull case for JT. Yes, Daniel Jones is not healthy right now. Is he getting healthy soon? Sure. Can he start the season healthy? Maybe, probably. Will he be healthy, barring any new injury, by weeks 15, 16, 17? Of course. So I am pretty bullish on JT for the fantasy playoffs. And then, like, look at the Colts schedule. Indianapolis Colts. They face Tennessee, nice. Cincinnati, nice. But then Cleveland, kind of tough. I mean, Cleveland had one of the better run defenses last year, so there is that going against them. Hard to know. Omega says he's been throttled hard. I'm pro, just FYI. Yeah. We're getting fucked by big AI. What are you going to do? Mike Evans is the stud. Yeah, I'm in on Evans. Always good to see you, Omega. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Hope your drafts are going well. We did a Best Ball Mania 7 to start. I felt pretty good about that team out of the 12 spot. This is a Pitbull. So I got to update the ticker, but let's make this pick. Gosh, how come the time I don't have anything to stack with Joe Burrow? He's there. I do have Derrick Henry, though, so I'm dangerous. I'm not... Okay, Joe Burrow goes to Black Jesus. It was meant to be. He gets the Chase Brown stack. That's nice. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison. Yeah, push QB. Push QB. Let's go Marvin Harrison. My biggest hot take, I guess I'm a huge Marvin Harrison bull. I've just kind of seen how good the upside can be. I'm drafting for all upside. Give me floor with my first couple picks. Give me upside with every pick that I'm expecting to hit my flex. And technically, this is my first flex pick, so let's go. Let's update the banner. This is a Pitbull draft. When I type Pitbull, I really want to type P-I-T-T bull, like pit. I don't know why. Hartman says, do you think Burrow's price is fair relative to other QBs? Yeah, I think it's definitely fair. I think so. He doesn't have the rushing upside, but he's the best pocket passer by far. And he can still put up numbers. He can still break the slate. He can be the guy you need. He's not going to get there like Purdy did in week 17 with the 2 rushing touchdowns, But if it's a Burrow 4-touchdown game and no one else does anything big that week and the running QBs don't go off, which is very likely, I think Burrow's live to be the QB you have to have. So I would take unstacked Burrow like we did last year. Same thesis, kind of in this range, the back end of round 6, the beginning of round 7. And then you can always try to figure out if you can get a Yoshivas or a Gesicki later or like whatever. But I don't think you have to force it. Damn, I don't want Dak here. I think Metcalf's okay. I kind of prefer Cortland Sutton. J. Reed. I was trying to queue up some players. I don't know what happened. Underdog glitched on me because I also queued up Alec Pierce, Cortland Sutton, Jaden Reed, and actually Jalen Warren, but none of them showed up. So that was a total glitch by Underdog, but I'm fine. I let it hit on Metcalf. Whatever. I probably didn't even need that receiver there. But let's be done with receiver for a long time now with Metcalf. Metcalf splitting work with Pittman, I'm a little bit worried. He only was able to get about 4 receptions per game last year, 2 fantasy points per reception. He only had 2 touchdowns. This is the second half of the season. For the full season, DK wasn't any better. 4 receptions a game, but he did have 7 touchdowns. I guess 5 of them came in the first half of the season. 2.6 fantasy points per touch. So we really need Metcalf to ascend even more. And with Pittman joining and being a target earner, I just don't know what the odds of that happening are. But the thesis for Pittman or for DK Metcalf is if you can get to like 4.5, 5 receptions per game consistently, he can be pretty dangerous. He can be like Malik Neighbors. He can be like it doesn't sound great, but like Cortland Sutton plus kind of like a Nico Collins would be the dream. But it gives me one more QB. I don't have any QBs yet. It gives me one more QB out. Considering, I ended up taking DK because all the QBs I wanted were gone. I wanted either Hurts or May. Herbert goes pretty early. There goes Reed. I have way too many wide receivers right now. This is a really wide receiver heavy team for starting off 2 running backs. Harvey would be nice. I could make Dart work. I feel like I shouldn't. I can probably push and get Purdy to come back around. Fuck, Harvey goes. Pick 101 for Purdy. It can happen. Let's see if we can do it. I might just go Fannin here. Or Corum. Let me go Corum. I don't love this pick. It's very contingent. There's definitely standalone value. Second half of the year last year for running backs, Corum was okay. Getting 10 touches per game, while Kyron was getting about 17. And Corum had 5 touchdowns. He was decent fantasy points per touch wise. It's a super expensive price for a running back that's not going to be, a running back 1 or the top running back on his team. But it's a really good team. I have the team stack with Devontae Adams. I feel like I need to get some more running backs sooner than later. I'm just kind of making that team stack and that bet there. It gives me a better reason to take Stafford later with a big team stack. I probably could have gone Fannin. I probably could have just taken Purdy and pulled Purdy up. If I miss out on Purdy, I'm going to be upset. Because now I kind of need a tight end as well, and I really should take Purdy. I hope I can get Purdy. I'm so done at receiver. I think I finished receiver a little bit early. Instead of taking DK Metcalf, I could have easily just taken Pollard or Warren or Dowdle. That might have been the better pick. But if I can get Purdy here at 101, I'll feel good about it. Kind of the trade-off is like Metcalf and Corum. Oh, there goes Stafford. Wow. Well, Brock Purdy was always the thesis here. Metcalf and Corum versus like Pollard and QJ. Or probably I would have taken Addison or Downs over QJ. I don't know. Actually, that is kind of an interesting wide receiver line once you get past Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed and Jacoby Myers are like the last two good draftable wide receivers. I would argue Pittman, though. I actually like Pittman better than Downs, QJ, and Addison. But he goes later, so you don't have to take him there. Burrow at ADP or JD or Hurts or Herbert. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is fun, but we saw it his rookie year. You know, what can he really realistically do? Is a team good enough? Burrow is, even with his offensive line sucking, he's still really good, and hopefully it gets better, but we don't know if it will. Hurts is good. New offensive coordinator Sean Mannion kind of scares me for Hurts, though. This could be a bad year for the Eagles, bad year for Hurts, and bad relative to what they've done recently. Obviously, they're still a good team, but like it could get worse. I'm starting to worry about it. I need to do some more digging. And then Herbert, I think, is a good price. Fine, but I think it's fine. Love Bro when he's healthy, he's elite. Won't buy too many shares at his price. I won't even take him every Chase Higgins Brown teams. I think that's fine. I'm definitely gonna take him if he's there at ADP and I've got the stack as much as I can. But if you have a better option later, like are you taking a lot of Malik Willis? Are you taking a lot of Kyler? Like, how do you like to go late on the QBs if you're avoiding the early guys? If you're like definitely not taking Burrow because he goes around 6. Taking Kelsey or Aaron Jones. I'm gonna go Aaron Jones. It's a little early. Could have gone Knicks. I'm kind of worried about the whole ankle and everything. I don't have any stacks with Love. I have nothing to go with Shuck. So let me just take Aaron Jones there and feel better at running back. And let me just push QB one more time. Oh, I could have taken Kelsey there. I almost took Kelsey. It's gonna be a late tight end build, maybe even a 4 tight end build. We'll just see how many more receivers we need. I could stop at 6. Hey, Omega, appreciate the dono, brother. Thank you. Never required, but always appreciated. Thanks for supporting the channel, brother. Do you think we, the community, is too down on the third-year wide receivers? Yes, I do. From what we graded, a historic class. I do think we're too low on them. Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm one of my bullish picks for this year. I'm super in on Marvin Harrison Jr. Rome, I need to get more Rome. I feel like I don't see him on my teams as much as I want. Like Rome here went pick 49. I want more Rome. I didn't really have a good chance to get him. I would have had to take him ahead of Evans, and that's possible. I don't think it's a terrible bet to make. Pick 125. I think I will just take Jordan Love if he's there, or I could pull up Malik Willis again because I don't want to fall too far behind at QB. And my late stacks for QB, I have Aaron Rodgers, Brissett, Gross, and then we're done. I could do Daniel Jones. I think 124 for Keaton Mitchell is insane. I'm going Jordan Love here. I don't need anything else. I don't need anyone else. I can figure out the Packers. Maybe shit. There's no way to stack this guy. It's done. I'm taking Naked Love. Just a value pick. Probably could have gone Malik Willis there. Jordan Love's a good passer. We'll see if he can get anything done. I think it's at least a safe pick. I didn't want to do it. There's no Packers left to draft. There's literally no Packers left to draft. So I didn't want to do it, but this team kind of needed a QB there, and I get a good ADP value on him at least. I'm going to make that argument. I'm going to push for late tight ends. Okay, Omega also says, okay, so like Marvin Harrison Jr., yes. Rome, probably yes. Pearsall, I'm skeptical of. I can kind of come around to it. I think with Mike Evans there, when Kittle gets healthy with McCaffrey, I think it's limited consistent upside, but I can see the vision for like single week upside for Pearsall. So I'll draft some Pearsall. BTJ, yes. We can't be out on Brian Thomas Jr. after one bad sophomore year, coming off of an injury and playing through it. His rookie season was too good. He was too good in college. He's a stud. It's a great offense. Liam Cohen can scheme him. They can figure it out. Could he overtake Jacoby Myers as the lead target earner and reception getter in that offense? Why not? Appreciate you. Thanks again, Omega. Yo, what's up, Adam? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. A Rome hater in my heart, Hartman. You got to know though, I'm very fluid in my takes. I've come around. I was a Rome hater last year when he was so expensive. I was more of a DJ Moore guy, I guess. Kind of worked out. Kind of didn't matter. Okay, there are no good tight ends here. They'll just take Daniel Jones and be done at QB. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I really don't need another wide receiver even yet. I have 5. Oh, geez. I have 5 wide receivers through my first 77 picks. I don't need the other wide receiver. I'm probably going to stop with 6 wide receivers. I don't like the running backs available here, particularly at all. Daniel Jones with Jonathan Taylor, match made in heaven. Let's go. And I don't even know if there's any other Colts I can get out of this. No, it's pretty shitty. There's no Colts left that I like. There's no Packers left that I like. So these are going to be not the most stacked up teams. This team is not as fun as the last team we drafted, but it's okay. Probably taking 4 tight ends super late just to get different. And yeah, like a 3, 5, 6, 4 could be the move. Good enough QB room. Honestly, not the worst running back room. Double week 13 bye is a little concerning. With Corum and Aaron Jones having to fill in, that's a little concerning. So definitely going to get 5 running backs. I think 6 wide receivers makes sense. But I'm pretty confident in these wide receivers. The wide receivers might just stop at 5. Maybe I need to go 6 running backs and 5 wide receivers. Or maybe just screw the whole 4 tight end idea. Just do 3. Don't be a weirdo. Take 4 tight ends. Especially when I can't stack a single one of them with one of my QBs unless I took like Tonjes. So maybe just, yeah, 2 more running backs potentially because I waited so long for the 3rd one. That could be the move. Let's get tight end before it gets too late though. Brenton Strange would be my favorite here. I'm not afraid to take Sadiq. I could take some Sadiq. Marks goes. I kind of like the Marks pick there. It's a little early, but I don't mind it. We don't need these wide receivers. None of them are going to stack anyways. Well, Deshaun Stribling's not bad. That could be a move when he comes back around. Let's take Brenton Strange here. I like Brenton Strange. I want more Jacksonville Jaguars on my teams. 49ers play the Eagles. I don't have any Eagles if we're considering AJ Brown moving teams, especially the Patriots. Packers play Houston. I don't have any Texans. Colts play Browns. I don't have any Browns. So not the most Week 17 stacked centric team. Yeah, here comes the tight end run. I started it. Yeah, what's up, this bandit? How we doing, brother? Appreciate the kind words, my friend. Good to see you. Savion Williams. Imagine drafting Savion Williams in 2026. Anthony, are you trolling me? Are we really going to draft Savion? I don't even know what he did last year. He touched the ball like more times as a running back than he did as a receiver. I don't know what to do with Savion. I'm lost on that one. There we go. Yeah, I think so. It's the year 3 breakout. We just saw it with JSN. the Seahawks weren't supposed to be that good of a team. Surprise, they won the Super Bowl. Surprise, JSN had a 36% target share. Complete stud. Maybe. I don't think the Cardinals have any chance of winning a Super Bowl because their defense actually sucks. But year 3, is Hawkinson worth something here? I kind of want to go Stribling. For the stack. For the stack. Don't hate me, guys. I don't have a rookie receiver. Oh, what the fuck? Underdog glitched out again. Well, it wasn't meant to be. I swear I put Stribling ahead of Hawkinson in my queue. I should have clicked draft, but Underdog wouldn't let me draft him. It messed up. So I get Hawkinson there, which I think is honestly fine. I have Aaron Jones already, so there's a team stack there going, and it's the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell. Maybe they can get better. Maybe Stribling comes back around. I don't know. Maybe I don't need him on this team. Maybe it's Denzel Boston for the Colts bring back. Maybe I should just take... Well, there goes Boston. Maybe I should just take Dalton Schultz. And for the Texans, Jordan Love. That doesn't make any sense. But he's actually, I think, a good tight end. So I wouldn't mind Dalton Schultz there. He's probably the second target in the Texans offense. I want it to be Higgins. It's probably still Schultz. We'll see. Brian Robinson, I think, is a decent pick. I don't mind the Tank Bigsby pick either. Shout out to Adam. So, and yeah, neither one of them is by week 13. So, and there he goes. There goes Stribling. Maybe I keep pushing tight end. Maybe I finish running back here with these 5. And if I get 6, there's a decision to make later. Jerry Jeudy there just seems like a smart pick. See, I queued Jerry Jeudy and it didn't show up. Underdog is glitching right now. I want Dalton Schultz. What about Waller? Tank Dell? No, not, yeah, Tank Bigsby. I know the play. Oh, Jude just popped up. I took Brian Robinson last time for the thesis. Let's go Tank this time. Philadelphia. Because I've got Brock Purdy stacked up with Mike Evans. Let's get that Tank Bigsby, that week 17 correlation. Makes sense to me. I've seen Dalton Schultz fall. There's a better chance he'd come back around. Jerry Jeudy does go to Black Jesus. So, I mean, the Jerry Jeudy, I feel like he should be a riser. I don't know what kind of news we need to get. He probably should be going ahead of Denzel Boston. A lot of Jerry Jeudy haters, though. There's not a lack of Jerry Jeudy hate that's keeping his ADP down. Man, these late tight ends. There's a few of them that are okay. I don't have a lot of high conviction around them after the Dalton Schultz line. I might consider getting that 6 running back if I can get Brian Robinson. And this is more of a 3-6-6-3 build. So as long as it's Brian Robinson, I'm cool with it. Maybe Sean Tucker's okay. I don't know if I really need him. Damn, he goes. Is this a Kalon Black or a Kamani Vidal team? Uncertain. I don't even know if I want any of these tight ends that much. Farming's okay. Terrence Ferguson's interesting, but this is early for him. Yeah, I don't like any of these picks. You guys think Tank Dell's fun? I haven't really clicked him yet. I could do Tank Dell one time. It's a pit bull. The horrific knee injury, though. Yeah, I queued up Tank Dell like 30 seconds ago, and he just shows up. What do I do? Tank Dell, last receiver pick to give me 6. I'll do it. I haven't drafted Tank Dell yet, and a lot of guys like him. I like Tank Dell. A lot of you guys are hyped on him. I'm more worried that he's going to have trouble staying healthy, seeing the field, and commanding targets again, coming off of a catastrophic knee injury. But yeah, what about Waller? I don't know. Did Craig Dulcich the play? Does Waller come back? Tank, never a bad option. The refresh might help. Okay, let's do it. We're going to trust the refresh. And maybe it's just my internet problem. Maybe I'm the problem. We tried to refresh. Let's see if it works. The double Tank strategy. That's what got into my head. You know what it was? We were talking about Tank Bigsby so much that it made me draft Tank Dell. I think it was Nez who was like in on Tank Dell. Somebody is bullish on Tank Dell. Dell will be back some point this year. Bullish. Fuck, dude. Oh, well, I don't need him. On this team, I don't need him at all. So if he's like even on the field, good. This is like a wide receiver room where I really didn't need him. And also, it worked because I didn't have any stacks left. I had no receivers for the 49ers, Packers, or Colts even remaining remotely. Stowers is the pick here. This gives me that Eagles correlation that I want. Gives me some rookie upside. Could be fun. And I have a luxury pick. I think I might go one more running back just to help me with my Week 13 bye. Because between Blake Corum, Aaron Jones, and Tank Bigsby, I don't feel great. But it's not like there's any good options left either. And Ray Davis, Kalon Black, Imani Vidal are some options. James Conner. Dude, James Conner is better than Tyler Algier. So James Conner to me is the RB2 behind Jeremiah Love. Is this a Jaden Blue team? Is any team a Jaden Blue team? Neil got me to draft Malik. Was it Neil? They got me to draft Malik Davis. Somebody got me to draft Malik Davis. I forget what stream it was. I think it was Neil on Sunday. I'm a believer. Chris Brooks. This is a Chris Brooks ass team. Liam likes Tank Dell. No. Is this a Chris Brooks ass team or what? Talking about guys who don't matter and won't play. Do we go with Kalon Black for the team correlation with the Niners? Do we take Chris Brooks to give me one other Packer? Do we go Kamani Vidal because he might have some standalone value? James Conner might have some standalone value. Jaden Blue might have some nice contingent value. I don't think I take the fourth tight end. There's not even good ones that I like there left that would stack or make sense on this team. All right, what are we doing? I think this is a Kalon Black team. Let's go Kalon Black. I have a bigger bet. I know. Adam, this is Jose Cruz's profile picture is very inspiring. Every time I bring it up on stream, I forget that it is that until I see it pulled up big, and it's so funny. Very inspiring. White Goodman. The Easter egg final scene with White Goodman. All-time great pick. Classic. That movie's got to be like 20 years old by now, too. But it's right up my alley. I love dodgeball. An underdog tale. Okay, this team projected pretty good according to Underdog. I think we have the highest projection in this room. I don't know how that ended up happening. Maybe it's just the running back love. Joni loves Chachi. Exactly. Three six six three. How fun? How fun can you get? Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones hurt. Should be healthy. Should definitely be healthy when it matters. Fantasy playoffs. Purdy and the 49ers face the Eagles in week 17. Not the best, but maybe there's a lot of implications for real NFL playoffs on the line. Jordan Love plays Houston. Also terrible matchup. That defense is going to crush. So don't love that. And then Daniel Jones versus the Browns. I also don't love that. So I don't really love these week 17 matchups, but I think these QBs are fine, and I got good prices on them. I got a little ADP fall on Brock Purdy, was able to stack him with my Mike Evans investment that I took as my wide receiver 2. Jordan Love here, he is, 17 pick faller, so I had to scoop him up, even though I couldn't stack him with anyone, because Jordan Love is the last Packer to get drafted, usually. There's not a single other Packer. They all go ahead of him, so it makes it really hard if you don't already have a Packer piece. Sometimes Golden goes after him, but not really. Daniel Jones, kind of in a similar way. There's not a single Colt that really goes after him that you can stack up with him. But I already had Jonathan Taylor, so that feels just fine. Plus, if you've seen the splits, if you saw my Twitter thread, Jonathan Taylor averaged 24 fantasy points in half PPR. I think it was half PPR. It might have been full PPR with Daniel Jones. But then without him, he's averaging I think it was 17 or 18 or 19 fantasy points per game. So really different splits without Daniel Jones in that offense. Derrick Henry, stud. My first 2 picks, JT and Derrick Henry. Blake Corum is one of the picks that I might regret, but I did get to team stack him with Devontae Adams a little bit, and I didn't end up getting Stafford, but it seems fine. Just, good pieces, or at least pieces on a good offense, good team. So that's all right. Aaron Jones, fine pick. Tank Bigsby, always a fine pick where he goes. Kalen Black, I think it's my first time drafting him, and on a team where I have 49ers, so it just kind of made sense. AJ Brown, my wide receiver 1. Mike Evans, my 2. Devontae Adams, my 3. So some studs, some veterans. Marvin Harrison, the year 3 breakout like Omega was speaking to. DK Metcalf, I kind of regretted that pick, but then when I looked at it more in the 2v2, I got DK Metcalf and ended up getting Blake Corum. Turn that around, I would have had Tony Pollard and Jordan Addison, or I could have pulled up Michael Pittman. I'm okay with the way that I played it. Tank Dell late, all upside swing. Don't even need him to do anything. I have 5 wide receivers that I expect to hit my lineup, and none of them had a single bye week overlap, which is also kind of crazy. So I felt really good with those 5. I would give the running back room probably a B. QB room's a solid B. Wide receiver room, I think, is an A-. Doesn't have the highest end studs at the top, but there's some really good depth out of these first 5. Should be in the lineup and in my flex most weeks. And then I have my 2 top running backs, and all these other running backs are just kind of lucky to hit the lineup. Touchdown dependent, you could say. Tight end, I did late tight end. I think this works out though. I think this is not terrible, not too bad. Strange, Hawkinson, Stowers. Kind of fun. I don't know. Give that a B-. I don't love this team, but there's some nice pieces to it. And structurally, I tried to make it work. Get into a 3-6-6-3, right amount of draft capital at QB, late tight end, strong at running back early, but then not too much later. Blake Corum, a little bit expensive. Wide receivers, very strong. I mean, this is even I didn't take a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds. This is kind of one of the stronger wide receiver room builds that I'm doing right now, where I am getting, this time it was really that Metcalf pick that put it over the edge. So down for a puppy. Oh, bro, I wish. And Adam, I should have just brought, we got to stream soon, brother. We got to stream soon. I'm not going to be doing another draft tonight. I actually have to be at my dentist first thing in the morning for teeth cleaning at 8 a.m. And my dentist is far away because I live in the city now, and I still go to my dentist that's in my parents' old neighborhood up north because I've had the same dentist for 30 years. So, and I'm crazy and I like driving through traffic. So I actually got to get to bed because it's almost midnight. But Adam, I'll hit you up. I'll DM you. We got to stream together soon, man. It's been too long. It's always a lot of fun. And thanks for being here, brother. Hope you're having a great night. For everyone tonight who joined the channel, who became a new sub, the Dono from Omega. Appreciate you, brother. We got more to come. It's hot best ball summer. We're here all summer, drafting all the time, live. We go the Ballsy show most Mondays. We did it on Sunday this week with Neil. A little scheduling change, but most Mondays we do Ballsy, 9:30, 10:30 Central Eastern at night. I usually do my birdie hunting PGA on Tuesdays. I've kind of paused that for the minute. We did it before the PGA. It was fun. Hartman came on. It was actually on Wednesday last week. We moved it one day. I had a sick kid. But usually Tuesdays birdie hunting. I took last night off. I think we might do it again next week, though. We'll bring it back. We'll just see how it goes. And then I do NFL best ball content Wednesdays or Thursdays, and then Fridays or Saturdays. So at least 2 other nights a week. So I'm pretty much streaming 4 nights a week. Make sure you're subscribed. Smash the like button. Leave a comment behind if you're watching this in the future. Who are you most? Because we had some good questions tonight. What do you think about the year 3 breakout wide receivers? Who's your first? Who is like your? What was the right way to phrase it? Your biggest hot take. Which is your biggest hot take? I kind of said Marvin Harrison was mine. He also kind of fit the description for my year 3 breakout that I like. And then who's your favorite pick in the first round? I was kind of making a case for both Jamar Chase and Jonathan Taylor as some of my favorite picks in the first round right now. And then also don't forget to subscribe to my new podcast. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's completely different product than what we're doing here on the YouTube channel. It's called Edge Detection. It's short weekly podcast episodes. They're evergreen. They're general fantasy strategy and player takes with data-backed information. And I hope you guys like it. So all of that and more. Follow me on Twitter at FFB Garage. I'll see y'all in the draft streets real soon. Peace out. Have a great Wednesday. Yeah, collab loading, Adam. We'll do that soon. Appreciate you, Danimal. Thanks for jumping in the stream. Hartman, Danimal. We had Jose in this one. And yeah. Peace out. I think I am going to hit the outro video. Let's see. I haven't run it in so long. Can I even find the outro clip? Oh, here it is. Peace.